how you doing? It's Eric here with the Adventures ASMR. Angeles City right now. We started Walking Street. Just about, well, an hour until sunset, so sun's totally in my eyes. Hey, how you doing, Kuya? Thank you. How you doing, Kuya?
Drinks?
Eventually. Do what?
You want some drink?
Drinks?
Yeah. You buy.
Hey, I'll get you a drink after this video. Okay. I'll come back, I promise.
Yeah,
Thank you, Kuya. Right out, you're gonna be here outside Hammer?
Yeah.
Thank you, Kuya. I'll get you a Coke afterwards.
There's a tourist police.
Nice. Thank you, Kuya. Appreciate it.
Yeah. Till midnight.
Nice. Tourist police.
Yes, it's like a leader, tourist police.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, sweet. Oh, I know that one.
Yeah.
That one's a little broken right now. Yeah, he wants a Coke from the Sorry store, so tourist police. It's good to hook up the locals.
Like that, it's cheaper. Cheap Coke.
Definitely. Hey, no worries. I will after the video. I'll come around.
Okay.
I appreciate it. I'll get you one too.
Okay, sir. My name is Michael. I know you.
Mike, I know. I remember you.
NB.
Absolutely. Yeah. I remember your hand. Mike, I'll see you in a little bit. I appreciate it.
That's my boy.
Nice.
Chili cigarettes.
Hell yeah. Hey, hustle.
Have a good day, my friend.
You too, sir. I'll see you in a little bit. I'll get you a Coke too. Oh, well, I mean, it's a great way to start off a video. Like I said, I love it when people are happy, but point of this video, a little bit of a sad topic. Just want to explain some things. Yeah, don't know where to start, so I'm going to jump right into it. Basically, about 4 months ago, I didn't talk about it on camera until now, but you know, I might as well. I got robbed about 4 months ago in Angeles, and we'll get into that. But what's making me talk about this video is I actually just finished a video. So I love YouTube myself. Oh, sorry, a little bit out of breath. Yeah, I watch a lot of YouTubers as well. That's what made me want to kind of get into this. Watching Philly from the Philippines. Yeah, essentially, he posted the video a few weeks ago, so it's old news now, new news to me. I just started catching up on it. But his wife was robbed at knife point. And, I mean, it's a terrible story. You should check him out. If you haven't seen his page, great page, a lot of information. Great YouTuber. But essentially, it wasn't, you know, you think, okay, well, he got robbed. How you doing, Paul? You think these things only happen on back streets or side alleys, stuff like that. Essentially, this happened right outside of his house. I think the story was, and I listened to it, but it made me sick. I finished the video. I know there's several of them posted, and the story kept like progressively getting worse. But essentially, she got robbed at knife point right outside of her house, apartment, wherever they're living. So she went outside to take the trash out. 2 teenage kids rolled up and pulled a knife out and basically took her phone. Essentially, you know, he's not as mad about the phone as he is about getting his wife was held at knife point. I mean, it's terrible. But the reason I'm talking about it now is it seems like this is something that it doesn't just happen to foreigners. It can happen to anybody. It happens to locals just as much as it happens to foreigners here, and it's really sad. But on my personal account, essentially what happened was I was, well, on Walking Street right here. I'm headed towards the McDonald's at the end of Walking Street. It was maybe, 4 months ago, maybe 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. You know, I would never get a false sense of security in places like this. It can happen anywhere, any place, anytime. Doesn't really matter. Now, I put myself in a bad situation. I was walking around 4 o'clock in the morning solo, just walking all over the back streets thinking, hey, like, this place is pretty safe, no crime here. How you doing, Paul? Hey, I'll come back and get you later. You wanna wait? I'll see you in a little bit. Thank you, Kuya. like I said, it really is just the 1%. 99% of people here, great people, super happy, friendly, respectful. They're not going to do anything. It's the 1% that go around and kind of ruin it for everybody. But the reason I'm doing the video is it seems like right now, I don't know if you know, crime is on the rise in general, or it's basically because of these summer months, or you know, end of the summer, fall. Technically it's wet season here, so there's usually, you know, wet season and dry season, but tourism kind of, you know, it's low in the wet season, so a lot of people start resulting, you know, there's a lot less money, less hustling, and people resort to, you know, robbing, violence, all sorts of stuff. You know, it could be as little as just someone pickpocketing you, or, you know, the extreme being held at gunpoint, or even I've heard stories of people getting kidnapped and essentially, you know, they have to pay their own ransom money. Not fun. I'll tell you my story, and then we'll get into ways to kind of help prevent those things. So here I was. Here, we'll take a look. Whoop. Right at the McDonald's and this main road. So I got out of the casino and I was walking back, and one of the kuyas outside, you know, he highly advised, he's like, hey, you know, it's 4 o'clock in the morning, nobody's really out here, wherever you're going, you should probably take a trike. I love walking everywhere. I'm still young, healthy, and even if it's several miles, I really like walking. I don't mind sweating. I'm sweating even if I'm not walking, so it doesn't really make a difference to me. You know, honestly, I should have taken his advice. I didn't. You know, I thanked him for offering me a cab ride. I started walking down the street. It was right at this corner that I'm about to get to, right outside the, right by the McDonald's. I was actually trying to post and take a video. I had my cell phone out. So I had my cell phone up in my hand like this. It was up in the air. I was walking around. I was taking video of everything. And completely out of nowhere, 2 guys on a motorbike came by and cut the corner hard. The guy on the back swiped the phone right out of my hands, and they took off. You could tell they were happy and excited about it. As they drove down the road, he waved the phone in his hand, you know, not turning around, but waving it in his hand, kind of laughing, kind of like, haha, you know, I got you. I chased. I mean, I needed my phone. You know, everybody right now, not even for communication, but everything from, you know, banking apps through you name it, you need it. Okay, let me get where it's a little more quiet. So I chased. Obviously, I wasn't going to catch a motorbike on foot, but I ran as fast as I could. I caught the next trike. I explained to the kuya what happened. I said, hey, you know, they went down that road. Let's try to get them. We followed them for a little bit. So essentially, and this is it. This is right here. This is the corner. So here I was, well, right there. I was walking towards the McDonald's. Casino's down that way. As soon as I walked, I almost made it to the corner. They swiped the phone. They took off. Here, I'll switch the camera. And they took off down this way. Here, I'm gonna switch it back. But they were gone. You could see them in the distance. I got a trike. We did a high-speed trike chase. We tried to find them. They essentially went to a dead end, and you know, I don't know if the locals are protecting them. I don't know if they're, you know, just low-end teenage hoodlums, or if they're somehow connected. But it seemed once we got to that dead end, nobody wanted to give information on where they parked their bike and what house they went into. But yeah, and I'm actually, this is the walk right now. This is what I was running in the middle of the night. So but that wasn't even the worst part. You know, getting robbed. They took my cell phone. I mean, they didn't take my wallet or anything like that, and I didn't get held up at knife point. I didn't get held up at gunpoint. And ultimately, what's important is my health. It's like, I'm okay. You know, the phone could be replaced. But that's where the nightmare began. You can hear it in other videos, and same thing in, you know, Philly from the Philippines. Essentially, once they have your phone, they have equipment here. Like, there's no such thing as locking your phone. You can't, like, you think that you're protected from Apple. You're not. Not even a little bit. And it's hilarious that we'll get into that. Apple didn't even help, but we'll get into that part of the story. So what did I do? After the high-speed chase, and the chase came to an end, you know, there really was nothing to do. I had you know, I travel with friends, so the friend here who helps me do my, you know, well, not my, our YouTube channel, you know, I went, alerted him, explained to him what happened, and he had his laptop on him. So first thing we did was log on to my Apple account and lock my cell phone, basically, you know, put it into, I'm not good with electronics, he is, so we put it into, like, hey, it's stolen mode. So he's like, hey, don't worry about it, you know, basically if it goes on, it's going to show the location, and, you know, they won't even be able to turn it on or get past the password. So that night I slept, you know, I was upset, but I slept peacefully because I was like, all right, well, hey, cell phone's gone, I can replace that, but at least everything's locked. Very next day, I was using his computer to get on my Gmail, and I couldn't. And then I went to go get on Instagram, and I couldn't. Essentially, whatever lock I did from Apple, it's bullshit. Apple is not there to help you. They have equipment here, and it's not just here. You know, anybody can get it on the black market, essentially. When you start looking into it, I mean, even in America, if you do some Googling, you can find somebody who's got whatever device or machine it is, and in less than 30 minutes, it doesn't matter what kind of phone you have, even if you know, hey, Apple's supposed to be super secure, they will crack it, they will get on it, they will get access to everything. They changed all my passwords, they changed Google account, they changed all my social medias, and essentially the last thing they did, you know, they changed even my, so I had T-Mobile, and they changed all my T-Mobile account information, so I couldn't even get onto, you know, mytmobile.com. And then lastly, they tried breaking, I'm not going to say what bank, but they tried breaking onto the, you know, into my bank account. So I called the bank, and like I said, this is where the nightmare started getting even worse. Essentially, I called T-Mobile. T-Mobile, they have a you know, if anybody has T-Mobile, you might know this. They have a 6-digit PIN when you set up the account. Now, most PIN numbers that I use are all 4 digits. Whatever 6-digit PIN I put in years ago when I started the account, I could not remember for the life of me. I asked them, can I do my social security number? No. Can I take a picture of my driver's license, my passport, any other IDs? There has to be another way that, and this is actually, the, you know, once again, we're walking the route that I came. I got on a bike here, I chased them to here, I was out of breath, I caught a trike here, and I'm gonna walk all the way to the area that they disappeared in. So T-Mobile, unless I had that 6-digit PIN, they weren't able to lock, and all I was asking them for is to lock my phone. I said I don't need them to be on it. If they could just cut the service, that way they're not trying to call anybody in my phone book and try to extort people for money or pretend to be me. They couldn't help me. They wouldn't help me. They refused. Now I understand they have policies, but when I explained to them the position that I was in and that currently I'm in the Philippines, they pretty much told me that the only thing that I could do, or they could do for me, is I had to travel all the way back to the United States, and I had to in person present an ID at an actual T-Mobile store, which is a little ridiculous, and that's also the reason that I am no longer with T-Mobile. A little bit off topic, but next was Apple. I contacted Apple, I explained to them what was going on. All I asked them to do was just to lock everything. I was like, listen, I understand that I might have to be there in person showing ID or something to unlock it. But as long as you could just shut everything off, just shut it off, just get the phone so it's inoperable, just cut it. Now, I don't even know if that's a thing. I feel like it is. But like I said, I'm no tech genius. It's pointing towards me, ladies, don't worry. They got shy as we were walking up. But when I talked to Apple, I mean, and the hours that I wasted, I want to say collectively between talking to Apple and talking to T-Mobile, at least 7 hours on the phone, you know, between being on hold, asking to talk to supervisors, explaining what happened. Neither was able to help me. Apple wouldn't lock my phone. They essentially told me that I have to do it from the, it didn't even make any sense. I was explaining to them, like, this literally, you have millions of users worldwide. This can't be the first time that somebody's been in the same position as I am. And no, they refused. Now, do I still own an Apple phone? Yes, I do. I like the product, I'll be completely honest. T-Mobile, I can get another cell provider, and I did, I switched. Which way do we go? I'm pretty sure we still went down this way. But as far as cell phones go, I'm really not a fan of any other ones. Not a big deal. But yeah, no, it literally took me, I had to literally spend thousands of dollars to fly back to the United States, go in person, talk to T-Mobile. And once I was in a T-Mobile and showed my ID, it took them less than 30 seconds. And they gave me a new SIM. I got a new phone, had everything replaced. Oh, side note. So I had I think it's called a Shuron. I can't remember if I went straight or left here. I think I went straight. The Shuron is the insurance that you pay a few dollars a month for. Now, I paid for them for years, and basically when I called them and explained what happened, it should have been covered, and I was willing to pay, it's a $250 deductible. So it's not free. It's not like you pay X amount of dollars a month and next thing you know, you just get a brand new phone. You still got to pay a very large fee for a deductible. And I didn't even have a brand new iPhone. It was an iPhone 12, so it's like not outdated, but several years old. So it wasn't like I was asking for a brand new one. I was willing to pay the $250. Long story short, the the representative that I talked to, he entered the wrong date. So when I got back to the States and tried to finish filing, they were like, "Oh, sorry, sir." They were like, the date that you filed doesn't match the date that you're telling us. And there was nothing, it didn't matter who I talked to. I was on the phone with them for hours. I talked to all the supervisors, and they refused to replace my phone. Well, I could tell you I'm no longer with Assuron either. I don't want to pay them, I forgot how many dollars a month, but listen, if you have your phone and it gets lost or gets stolen, maybe they're going to replace it, maybe they won't. But if you drop your phone and something cracks like the screen, when you look at how much it costs to actually fix the phone versus replace the whole phone through Assuron, it's actually cheaper just to get the phone fixed. Different story. Anyway, getting back to the point, here's a few key things. So, everything got fixed. I want to say it took over a month and a half and traveling all the way back to the United States to fix these things. But lessons learned. Basically, if you want to avoid these type of incidents happening to you, off the top of my head, a few things. Well, one, if you can, now I am solo right now, but it's daytime, so it's fine. But if you can, you should always come with a group or stay in a group.
Hey, put this sign on there, mate. Show this sign.
This sign. All right. Yes, sir.
Advertise my sign, mate.
Oh, definitely.
Look at this, mate. $150 an hour, mate.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Lover's room, mate.
That is the best price I have heard so far.
jacuzzi as well if you want, my
Oh,
friend.
man.
Appetizer for me. Thank you, man.
Definitely. Hey, Adventures ASMR.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Kuya. Appreciate it. That's a great price, though. I haven't seen anything like that. So it's 150 pesos for an hour. We've got a lover's room suite, honeymoon suite, but basically 150 pesos an hour in US dollars. That's like $3. I mean, you can't beat that. And the place looks very clean, super clean from the outside. I'm gonna come back and check it out. Thank you, Kuya. I will see you later. That is a great price, but no, like I was saying, trying to stick with a group. Let's think. If you're walking, I wouldn't walk with traffic behind you. I would walk on the other side of the road where you could see the traffic coming towards you. That's another thing, because they came up from behind me. It happened too quick and it was all over. If you are walking and you're holding something, say it's a cell phone, say it's a bag, something like that, I would hold it on the opposite side of traffic. So I would hold it inboard towards the sidewalk. I was walking with the same friend that helps me do the YouTube. He was holding a bag. He was holding it. We were on the left side of the road. He was on the right side of me. He was holding a bag in his right side, and they came up, two guys. This was the middle of the day in Makati. I'm talking like 2 o'clock in the afternoon, broad daylight, not on a back road, main road. Tried to snatch a camera bag, this camera that I'm holding, right out of his hands. Now, luckily, the guy, he didn't have a good enough grip, and as soon as he felt it, he snagged it back. He was able to keep the bag, so they didn't win on that one. Sometimes they don't win, which is good, but keep everything on the other side, and this is definitely it. So right here, let's turn this around. This is the area where the thieves came after they stole my stuff. Well, my phone. And yeah, I mean, as you can see, I'm pretty much the only foreigner here. This is more of the local. Looks like a lot of dead ends. And who knows, maybe one of them is right here. I have no idea. I wouldn't know. I mean, it happens so fast that you're not even thinking about the details. You're not thinking of looking at a license plate. You're not thinking of what they look like, what they're wearing. Dead end though. Hello. And yeah, I mean, essentially we got to here and everybody's like, I didn't see anything. But, I mean, that was 4 months ago. It is what it is. Nothing I could do about it. But, stay safe, be smart. If you put yourself in a bad situation, bad things will happen. Even if you don't put yourself in a bad situation, sometimes things happen. What else? There's so many things I could talk about. That's just off the top of my head. Don't get too drunk. Not that I was too drunk that night, but another tip. If you're drunk and you're stumbling around, they're going to see you as a target. But from what I come to find out, it really doesn't matter if you're a foreigner or you're a Filipino. They're going to look for an easy target. And if you look like an easy target, they're going to come take your shit. And there's nothing you can really do about it. You try to report it to the police, nothing they can really do. I mean, what do you really want them to do? What are you going to describe? Oh, he looked like a Filipino. It's like, okay, well, that's 113 million people in this country you're describing, buddy. What do you really want me to do? Yeah, sorry to have a half sad video, but that's the reality of it. So if you come here, stay safe. Don't do anything stupid. Try to stay in large groups. Try to stay where other people are, and don't let that scare you, though. Come here, have fun, enjoy the Philippines. It's a great place. It's a wonderful country, beautiful people. Yeah, and I guess that's it for now. But much love and to be continued.